PG&E says they started quarterbacking a game plan to restore power to the folks here in Lake County yesterday. Today, a Huey helicopter, along with a Black Hawk helicopter, flew to this field to begin the process of restoring power to residents in Lake County.
It's really critical that we have these types of tools at our disposal.
PG&E says the helicopters will pick up 16 transmission poles.
Fly them out of this area to that area where that rough terrain is that we cannot access on the ground.
PG&E tells CBS 13 the areas that need help now may not be accessible by road. That's why the help of helicopters are handy.
We're going to take those poles, set them into holes that have already been created, and then we'll have trucks move in and help stabilize those poles. Once we get the poles in, then we can string the conductor or the wire and get the power back on.
PG&E confirms there are currently 7 outages to 700 customers throughout Lake County. CAL FIRE spokesperson Daniel Berlant says fire crews are also helping get things back to normal for residents.
Crews were working all day yesterday to pull the power lines out of the roadway. Many of them melted onto the roadway, so work has to be done to mitigate those hazards. But now they're restringing power, bringing in new power poles, and that's one of those hazards that we have to deal with before we can get residents back in.
And PG&E also tells us it's not just wildfires that they use helicopters to put poles back in the ground. They also do it to areas all over the state that don't have access roads to drive up to and put those poles in the ground. We'll send it back over to you.
Behind these cement walls and metal gates, you'll find what you'd expect.
I was 17 years old. I did a strong arm robbery. I got 13 years and 8 months. I have 19 months left.
Here in Facility A, a maximum security space at Mule Creek Prison in Nha Nguyen, are some of the toughest guys around.
Well, I'm in prison for manslaughter. I've been in prison for like 10 years now.
But there's a change in the air.
Like, I'm good now.
Tender, loving canines just started up an inmate training program. The convicts train pups to be service dogs for veterans and children with autism. It's been just over a week and these little labs have managed to break the tension with their barks.
But when I seen the dogs on the yard, it immediately brought a joy to me. Like made me smile, you know, and in here, smiles are kind of far and in between. They're hard to come by.
I think I have a hard heart, so like I've been doing criminal activities for so long, and I think now that I have him, he's like making me be more humble. We're in the cell, he hangs out, when he wags his tail, it lets me know that he's happy that I'm playing with him and stuff, so it makes me feel appreciated.
And brought everyone a sense of purpose with their paws.
The first day the dogs were on the yard, it was like 105 degrees, and the inmates on the yard were yelling at these guys to carry them across the yard so their feet wouldn't get hot. The yard has absolutely become invested in this program as a whole, not just the inmates in the program.
And while the end goal means their separation,
I'm in a cell with him by myself. We're single cell with the dog, so I talk to him sometime now because I don't have nobody to talk to, so I don't know how I'm going to feel when he leaves, but hopefully I feel good when he leaves.
It's clear the impact of these four-legged animals will go beyond the senses these men will serve within these walls.
I always knew how to train dogs by like abusing them and yelling at them and telling them to do certain things.
Now he's learned positive reinforcement.
I would think that like my growing up as well, maybe if I was raised like that, like instead of always getting in trouble, getting beat when I was a kid for doing negative things, and it was more understanding, I wouldn't have probably been in prison.